First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to the elders great millstone, Walnut is truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is More Chaos. So I like to say shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick Google search here, the meaning of chaos. Chaos. So it says here, it's a complete disorder and confusion. That's exactly what we're seeing left and right. Disorder, disarray, disorganization, confusion, mayhem, pandemonium. We're just gonna get a few of them. Madness. We constantly seeing it. Havoc, disruption. We already know what happened in New Orleans. Las Vegas. Also now, it's reports coming in. Happened today, another shooting in New York City, in the Queens. So these things are constantly picking up left and right. Also, in South Carolina, off of I-85, it said it was a bomb threat. And also it said what's another shooting down in Lafayette. That's another part of Louisiana, say at a mall. So these things are constantly picking up left and right. There's already rumors all over the place about these sleeper cells or a terrorist attack. So we already knowing that these things all by design and manufactured from the left hand side, but it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord is setting up the ambush for Babylon the Great, America. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed, getting ready to be totally invaded. And one thing about it, we seeing they are already here. Everything is ready. So it's going to be war right here on American shore. You know what I'm saying? That's civil unrest, civil war. They already been putting it in the movies. Now they're getting ready to bring it forth. So it's exactly what we've been seeing right now at the beginning of this year, the so-called new year, which in fact is 2025. We're seeing total chaos. So this year is coming in with a bang. You know what I'm saying? We already know that all hell is getting ready to break loose in the middle of the Lord. We're constantly warning you left and right. It is here. It is at the door. It said right here, uproars of the people. So we're seeing a lot of increased death, a lot of increased violence. Things are constantly waxing colder and colder. Evils are growing all over the place. Chaos. That's exactly what we're seeing. Order out of chaos. This is by design, but by design of who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And we're seeing right now they get ready to bring this new system, this new way of their thinking that they're going to constantly rule forever. This is NWO. So we know that we're very close. So now I have one article about these sleeper cells. Let's go and get it right quick. Let's go here. It says here, this article says here, all sides. It says here, former CIA officer warns 1,000 Al-Qaeda fighters in U.S. for next homeland attack. Let's get a little bit more. It says here, former CIA officer warns 1,000 Al-Qaeda fighters in U.S. for next homeland attack. In recent discussion on the Sean Ryan show, former CIA targeting officers Sarah Adams warned of a potentially devastating attack planned by Al-Qaeda terrorists on American soil. Said the interview offers significant insight into what may be unfolding as Al-Qaeda sleeper cells could be activating in the wake of the New Orleans terrorist attack and a possible vehicle-borne improvised explosive device of VBIED, say in the rear of a rental Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside Trump hotel. Let's open it up a little bit more. So we seeing right here that this former CIA officer, but we already know this. They always put their plants in place. These what you call this control opposition. All sorts of things that they constantly they're putting in place. All of a sudden, when this went down in New Orleans, now this former CIA officer, now she's call herself spilling the beans, but is this all by design? But one thing about it, we already know that these things already have been happening over the past 3 to 4 years. This influx, these migrants coming across the border, So we already know that they already have these sleeper cells in major cities around America. And one thing about it, we seeing right now, they are becoming what they are getting the call to become activated. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. We're gonna begin to see a whole lot of these things happen. This would just happen. Also bombings. All sorts of things, shooting. Increase of violence all across America. Order out of chaos. And one thing about it is exactly what they want. They want to tear this place apart so they can bring forth that solution. We already know what that solution is. They want to know, if they want to know who is this person, who is that person, they have their solution, that under the skin, that grain of rice. We're not ignorant of Satan's device. We already know that the devil's get ready to come down with great wrath. Let's see what else we got here. It says here, in a recent discussion, I think I read that part. Let's see if anything else I get here. It said Trump Hotel, Las Vegas, just in, let's start back up at this part right here. Let's read this again. It said, the interview offers significant insight into what may be unfolding as Al-Qaeda sleeper cell could be activating in the wake of the New Orleans terrorist attack. And a possible vehicle-borne improvised explosive device, VBIED, said, in the rear of a rental Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas just hours later. So we're seeing these things, one thing behind another. That's exactly what they want. Order out of chaos. You know what I'm saying? Havoc. People disarray, or all sorts of confusion. People right now have uncertainty. People are very afraid. That's exactly what they want. A lot of people saying they're going to stay at home. A lot of people say they're not going to the Super Bowl, not going to Mardi Gras. So a lot of people ready in disarray. That's exactly what they want. So they want to bring forth this type of energy so they can bring forth this new energy that they think they're going to bring out. One day they think they'll get ready to perform their enterprise, but we seeing how this thing is shaping up. So we already know that they have flooded the country with all these so-called migrants, these what you call young military aged men. They're ready to strike. But when they strike, the Lord is going to strike right back. So when the enemy come in like a flood, that military flood, these sleeper cell, when they get activated, the Lord's going to activate his sleeper cell, the 144. And one thing about it, man, we living in some exciting times, man. It says here, Ryan X. Adams said, I just want to clarify, you are 100% certain that they are 1,000 plus Al-Qaeda trained fighters within the U.S. borders. So Adam currently a global threat advisor with an extensive experience in the Middle East affairs, responded, well, said Al-Qaeda says they trained and deployed 1,000 for this attack. Said, first off, I think there are more than 1,000 Al-Qaeda members. So that's all we're going to get. I got a little video to bring it out with a little bit more. So we seeing right now that these things are coming full circle. This is getting ready to be a time of trouble that we have never seen before. We're constantly, it's time to the brace for what? You know what I'm saying? Put your seatbelt, brace for this impact. This lady right here, is sounding alarm, whether it's design or control opposition or whatever it may be. But we already know it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So right now, these things are going to constantly pick up. That's why you always got to be watching. redeeming the time wisely, because we are here. It is at the door. So right now, this lady is saying that there are, over 1,000 of these, so-called Al Qaeda sleeper cell right here in America. But we constantly been warning you about this, left and right. The elders, a great millstone on down. So we are here. So in that day they shall know that what our prophet was among them. So now let's get a quick precept before we start these two little videos I got. Let's get through one here. Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. It said, the prophets that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war and of evils and of pestilence. So that's what we constantly warning you about, left and right, warning you about these evil times. We telling you about, it's going to be, all hell is getting ready to break loose, telling you it's going to be a time of trouble that we've never seen before. We constantly warning you about what Jacob's trouble, and one thing about it, we already knowing that we're very close to that, and one thing about it, we knowing that 2025 is very prophetic. Judgment, it's going to take place on a massive level. Many shall be unalive in a great number. We're constantly warning you about a war. World War III is constantly picking up. Constantly tensions are rising. It's in the last and final war right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashim pestilence. These plagues, these outbreaks. They keep telling you about the bee flu. Telling you about, I think it was an outbreak in Japan. They're saying it was an outbreak, but they're not putting it in the news. So there's a lot of things are coming upon. This could be mandates, lockdowns are coming. We already know that these things are coming fast approaching. These chipping states, these hokey pokies are coming back upon us once again. These mask mandates, all these things are coming back. They already did the test run back in 2020. We're here. They're getting ready to give the green light. They're setting the stage. We're seeing it. We're here. They're putting it right in front of our faces. So the prophets are constantly warning you, left and right. So the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So verse 9, it says, if you prophesied in the ancient time, you're prophesying right now. And one thing about it is no new thing under the sun. Verse 9 said, the prophets which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. So right now the prophet is being known. They beginning to see that what these men, what they were scoffing and mocking, the one they kept on saying that, they're teaching hate speech. They're talking crazy. They're going to get themselves killed. But now they're requiring, a lot of people are listening. The Lord is getting your attention. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. And we're constantly warning you, all the games about to be over. Let's read this once again. It says here, in the NLT, it says, so a prophet who predicts peace must show he is right. Only when his prediction come true can we know that he is really from the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So one thing about it, in that day, when these things come to pass, what things? These prophecies, the signs of the time, they're coming to pass left and right. They're not polonium anymore. They're speaking loud and clear. And one thing about it, now they knowing that a prophet is among them. They're beginning to see. A lot of people right now are aware of what is going on, what is happening. We're here. It is at the door. I'm telling you, man, we are here. So now let's go here and get this quick video, these two quick videos right quick. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. I start here with this first video. I think it's this one right here. Let's start with this one. One moment.
Girl, why is that our problem? It's like, that's just the first in a series. It's coming for us. That's like the test run.
The casualty count will be between 50 and 60,000 Americans dead. Am I wrong on that?
So I don't know the count that they're predicting. What I do know is Al Qaeda trained and sent 1,000 attackers.
1,000 attackers. When did they come through?
So they finished training and they deployed them. Now, depending on how they come through, it could take different times, right?
So wait a minute. I just want to clarify. You are 100% certain that there are 1,000 plus Al Qaeda trained fighters within the United States borders?
Well, Al Qaeda says they trained and deployed 1,000 for this attack. First off, I think there's more than 1,000 Al Qaeda members in the United States. But for the Homeland attack, that number is based on what Al Qaeda is saying, so they could exaggerate it. However, They did have about 1,400 in the Hamas attacks, so the number is not off from what they did in the first round of attacks.
So now I got another one. Let's show this one right quick. One moment. Let's get to this other one right quick. Let me go back right quick. It's in my gallery. It's another one. This is it right here. By Arrows of Indignation. He put this up not too long ago. It's very interesting too, you know. See something, say something, you know. So should be starting up in a minute.
All right. If nobody's gonna say it, I'm gonna say it because in 2023, when I was separating from my husband, I went over the road in our truck and drove for 2 months. And let me just say that the sleepers, if you know what I'm talking about, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to say that, but they're in the rigs. I'm sorry to tell you this, but they're in our rigs. They are all over the roads. And if the one that just did what he did in Louisiana, I'm telling you, they're... Oh, hi! That's my big boy. They're in the rigs. They're 5 deep. I'm telling you, I saw them. Truckers, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. I promise you, it is not planes this time. They're here already. Everybody knows this. Like, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. They're already here. They've been flooding in for the last 4 fucking years, right? So now, over those 4 years, they've been learning our roads. They've been moving our foods. They've been learning how to drive. They know where every fucking thing is. And I don't know what this dude did, but he must have got pissed off. Like, he must have found out that his wives weren't going to be taken care of for the rest of their lives or something, because I think he jumped the gun. I don't think he was supposed to do that yet. So, they're in the rigs. I'm telling you, they're in the rigs. And, yeah, it sucks, but I don't know what to... I mean, like, what do you do with the information? What do you do with the information? Like, okay, so, like, we know that they, you know, like, I can't prove it, but I'm gonna put this out here, and so that way, like, it's not, holy fuck, we didn't know. Bitch, we all know. They're in our fucking rigs. 5 deep. A year or 2 ago, I saw a lady who, they were backing in and hit her rig, and the driver jumped out, ran, and she's like, 4 other people jumped out and took off, and then the last person was the one with the fucking CDL license, but nobody else in the fucking rig had a CDL. Because they're in our rigs teaching the sleepers how to drive rigs. Duh.
So we seeing that, you know, so a lot of things is happening, you know, at a fast pace. That's why the men of the Lord are constantly warning you about these impending dangers. So we already know that these sleeper cell was already here. So now, you know, this lady is saying they are in their rigs. And we seeing right now that Esau Edom is constantly telling them that the Lord making his tongue fall upon his own head, because the Lord is constantly making what Esau barren and barren. And out about it, you know, he cannot run, he cannot hide, he have bounds that he cannot pass. So let's get this one right quick. Job chapter 15. Let's get this one right quick, then we'll get a few more and we'll close out. It said, Job chapter 15 and verse 5, it said, for thy mouth utter thy iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Verse 6, thy own mouth condemn thee. Said, and not I. Said, yea, thy own lips testify against thee. So that's exactly what they're doing, left and right. The Lord is constantly, you know, it's constantly, you know, it's making Esau barren back, constantly exposing, constantly, you know, shedding light on this wicked red devil, so we seeing right now his plan, his mindset, his evil scheme that he's trying to roll out. So we right now, this lady was saying about these rigs, they're in these rigs, learning the infrastructure, learning, the busy body of America, learning the pretty much the inner workings. So we already knowing that there is going to be a lot of these, they call like down in New Orleans, just mass casualty, but it's going to be mass death very soon. So this place is getting ready to be a war zone. That's exactly what they want. Could it be some type of black swan event? Could it be just what these IEDs, these improvised explosive devices. So a lot of these things right now, they say they still are searching down in New Orleans for these explosive devices. So hey man, these things is getting ready to pick up. These prophecies are speaking loud and clear. And one thing about it, we know that our salvation is very close at hand. These things are, man, rolling left and right. Seem like every day something, it's constantly picking up. These evils, these plagues are not slacking down for a moment. They're what? On every side. The middle Lord, it's spot on, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh. By Hashem, the Lord's word is not returned to him void. These prophecies are rolling right now. And one thing about it, we running out of time. So let me stop rambling. It says here, 2 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 17 said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And woe going to destruction. That's exactly what we at. Destruction, death, sorrow. A lot of things are coming. It's in the next verse. I don't want to jump the gun. It's at verse 18. It said, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famines and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So one thing about it coming upon us at a fast pace, famine, great death, wars, World War III has begun. It's getting ready to escalate. Lord is constantly gathering the nation. Ezekiel chapter 38. These things are picking up left and right. It said the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. That's exactly what we're seeing. These evils are constantly picking up. They're constantly growing, constantly intensify. The love of many is waxing cold. Things are very, people are very cold. Calculate, that spirit of vengeance is working overtime. These evil angels everywhere, death is lurking on every corner now, that gross darkness. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to show forth that judgment like you have never seen before. And then one thing about it, and also the famine of the word is fast approaching. It says here, verse 19 says, behold, famine, plagues, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. And that's the best time to examine yourself, to get yourself together, get your house in order, gird up your loins. And one thing about it, once again, famine, plagues, and tribulation are right upon us. Amendment. It's time to amend your way, to return. Get your mind right. I'm telling you, man, we're here, man. We are very close at hand, man. I'm telling you, man. Verse 20 said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So a lot of people went on with their daily life, like, there's something that happened, and hoping that, everything would be all right. It's just a little bump in the road. We're going to keep right on going. They're not mindful. They're not watching. They're not redeeming the time. What going on with their daily life? Keep on, and all these evil constantly going on around them. The Lord had gave them a strong delusion. They'll reprobate, good for nothing. They're going to be totally destroyed. It said death is at the door. Verse 21 said, behold, victuals shall be good and cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And one thing about it, that's where we at right there, great confusion. It's going to be in every place, not only in New Orleans. It's going to be in these major cities, in Babylon the Great, and also around the world. You know what I'm saying? We constantly seeing it. The beginning of sorrows. We hear it is at the door, these birth pains. And one thing we're in that transition of power. And once again, let's read this again. It said, behold, victors shall be good and cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. So a lot of people think they're a good case because they're eating good. They still have their job. They still have their family. They still have a resource. Still have a place to stay, a warm bed. You know what I'm saying? going a nice vehicle. Everything still seem normal to them because what? They are still asleep. One thing about it, while you're sleeping, the devil is constantly getting bit. It said, right, they shall think themselves to be in a good case. So right now, a lot of people thinking that they're all right, or it will be okay. The Lord love everyone. Everyone can be saved. You're in for a damn rude awakening. Your ass is getting ready to be totally destroyed. These evils are all around. This devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We're constantly warned. This devil is finna show you who he is. The so-called white man. The devil that the Bible speaks of. It says here, verse 22. It said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So it's going to be in every place. You know what I'm saying? Kill or be killed. It's going to be all over the place. We're constantly warning you. Left and right, it is here. It is at the door. Man, we're here. Let's drop down to verse 38. Let's get this one right quick. We'll probably get one more. We'll close out. Let's go to 38. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. It says, 2 Amos chapter 16 and verse 37, behold, the plagues draw nigh, are near, and are not slack. We're seeing it every day, and they're not slacking down for a moment. They're speeding up left and right. One thing about a shooting over here. Someone got murdered over here. You know, we're seeing blood touching blood each and every day. The love of minute constantly getting colder and colder. The spirit of vengeance is working overtime. Verse 38 said, so as when a woman with child in the 9th month, bringing forth her son, and 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So it's not slacking down. We already know that transgender power is coming. And one thing about it, we know that what the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness is right around the corner. This temple world is fading away. Esau is the end of this earth age. This temple world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed, the kingdom of heaven that dwells in right. We are so very excited. Verse 39 said, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So sorrow is getting ready to come upon it on every side like you have never seen before. We're constantly warning you left and right. The Bible is a true book. Verse 40. And the Lord is coming. The Lord is coming. Verse 40 says, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evil. Be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And one thing about it, you know, we'll be spiritually guided. You know, it's a supernatural intervention is getting ready to take place. The Lord is getting ready to stand and fight for us. All we got to do is stand still, and the Lord's getting ready to show up and show out. Hey man, one thing about it, man, you already seeing the UFO sighting. Man, they're posting up everywhere. Esau, he's scrambling right now. You know, he's knowing what's coming. His days are determined. And one thing about it is, read it once again. So, oh my people, oh my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth, from place to place, you know, spiritually guided. The Lord's getting ready to happen in ways that we do not know how. The Lord is going to sustain it. The Lord will provide for it. And also the Lord's getting ready to come to deliver us with great glory and great power. Amen. We're here, man. You know, we getting to see Egyptian against Egyptian, you know, city against city, you know, brothers against brother, man. It's finna be a lawless time. Let's get that right quick. Isaiah chapter 19, I quote it and I might always get it. Isaiah chapter 19, Isaiah chapter 19, 19 and verse 2. And it reads that, and I will set Egyptian against Egyptian, or American against American, Edomite against Edomite. You know, hey, we seeing that we're here. It said, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So we are very close to this right here. They're setting the stage for this to go down right here. Civil unrest, civil war, race war, exactly what they want. So they can bring these sleeper cells in here, bring these UN so-called peacekeeping troops in here in collaboration with Russia and China and the UN. So we are very close to this time. You know, things are getting ready to get very, very dark. Things are getting ready to get very, very turbulent. But one thing about it, we already knowing we got the evil is sown. But what is sown in good is what? It's the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. That's why we constantly warning you left and right. We're seeing these things are constantly picking up left and right. We're seeing these prophets are speaking loud and clear. We're seeing that they're having these sleeper cells already in America. They're constantly telling you they putting it right in your face. But a lot of our people, what? They have eyes to see, but they see not. They have ears to hear, but they hear not, even though they have physical eyes and physical ear. But we talking about what? Through the spirit. And one thing about we knowing that what? The prudent man, the wise man, foresees the evil and hides himself. And how do you hide yourself? In this what? This wisdom, this knowledge, this gospel. It shall sustain you in times of trouble. The Lord, will be a strong tower. You know what I'm saying? A stronghold in times of trouble. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we coming upon these times. We're here. It's at the door. So all the tests run, all the playing games about to be over. The Lord is getting ready to show up and show out. We're constantly warning you left and right. Watch, pray, and be sober. We're living in these times, real time. So now, let's get our last and final script. Let's go ahead to Revelation. We'll close out in Revelation. Revelation chapter 1. If I'm not mistaken, I just Revelation chapter 1, I think around verse 3, if I'm not mistaken. This is it here. It said, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. The time is at hand. So we were very close. We are very excited. Salvation is at the door. UFO sites are all across the world. And also we know that great tribulation, great sorrow, great mornings are right upon us. The time is at hand. And also the great and glorious return of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It is at the door. So rejoice ye heaven. So we seeing right now that these things are approaching. When we knowing that famine of the word is fast, but we already know they're going to get ready to cut all these. We're going to see what they're going to do about TikTok. I think it's the 19th, right before Trump getting off. But one thing about it, we already know that the famine of the word is coming. The Lord is getting ready to close the mouthpiece. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to bring it like you have never seen before. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is More Chaos. I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.